Hi everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back once again with another review. Today, we're going to be dipping into the Marvel Universe line as we take a look at Series 4, number 2 from 2012, Spider-Man. Obviously Spider-Man has had a lot of figures. This one is a newer mold, I guess. It has a little comic art right there in the side of his packaging. He does come with an accessory of a backpack made out of webbing to hold his clothing, and that's about all. Let's take a look at the back. You get a little bio of Spider-Man. If you're a fan of Spider-Man, you probably already know it, as well as the cross-sell for the rest of the wave of 3 figures I do have. Now, one thing I do find nice is that they've stopped using the shield and hammer cross-sells, not cross-sells, but the little collect them alls, and they've now, for some reason, are using Rocket Raccoon from the new Guardians of the Galaxy. And each package has a unique phrase. This phrase says collect them all, whether they want to be collected or not. And he's number 7, not number 2. I misread that. Here he is. Get him to stand. That's Spider-Man, folks. Yep, not much to him. Unfortunately, I was very disappointed in this figure. I thought he was going to have the new body type with all the extra articulation. He doesn't. He does have more articulation than the other Spider-Men that came before, but that's not saying much. First of all, he does have a waist joint now, as well as the ab crunch and rotation, but his head is still on a single ball joint, so it's really difficult for it to look up and down. Does have that swivel joint in the armpit and bicep, elbow, single jointed. Instead of a wrist joint, he actually rotates as the forearm. Same on this side, but this hand has the spider web shooting grip. Really not a fan of that because it kind of limits to what this hand can do, and other position. You always have to have him in some sort of web shooting pose. Ball jointed hips, double jointed knees. No rotation at the calf or thigh, rotation at the ankle, and some ankle pivot forward and back. Unfortunately, there's like a lip to his calf here that makes it difficult for it to go back more than it does forward. You can get him into some unique poses, but in terms of just getting him to stand, like keeping him upright and standing, this is the best I can do. This is the classic Spider-Man colors, red and blue. You know, like I said, I got him because I thought he was going to be super articulated. Also doesn't help that he came packaged in the action pose, upside down with his knees bent. And I do believe this leg right here is actually now somewhat warped due to the way he was packaged. I really thought Hasbro had gotten the idea and the message that packaging the figures in action poses was not a good idea, but, you know, what can you do? I don't know if I can really recommend this guy, just because of the lack of articulation. I do believe this mold is going to be used in the Toys R Us exclusive comic pack with Rhino. You know, but he comes in the blue is much darker, almost black. You know, I don't know what's coming down the line. I know in the Amazing Spider-Man movie line, there's a super articulated Spider-Man, but I just don't like the look of his costume because they mix the blue and the red into the hands and the gloves, and it just really doesn't look right to me. But that figure is also very rare and very hard to find. you see this guy on the shelf, or the variant, which is the new Ultimate Spider-Man, which is that non-Peter Parker Spider-Man. If you don't have a Spider-Man, pick him up. If not, maybe if you see the comic 2-pack at Toys R Us, go for that one. There's another one with Captain Britain, but that's a different mold entirely. Who knows, maybe somewhere down the line we'll get a classic-looking Spider-Man with, like, the articulation deserving of Spider-Man. It's your old pal Chuck, and for Spider-Man, we'll see you next time.